Southern Lakes ski region of New Zealand has 4 main ski fields: Coronet Peak and the Remarkables of Queenstown, and Cardrona and Treble Cone of Wanaka. Having skied all 4, naturally there are some I like more than others. So in this video, we're going to rank the 4 Southern Lakes ski fields. Simple enough? Just bear in mind these are my opinions only, and I'd love to hear yours down below. But without any further ado, let's begin ranking the Southern Lakes ski fields. Alright, in 4th place we have Coronet Peak. This one seems relatively obvious, as it is much lower, milder, and smaller than the others. This means it doesn't have nearly as much of a challenge, nor does it have nearly as good of snow. And of course, being smaller but closer to Queenstown, certain lifts and pistes can get rather crowded, at least for New Zealand standards. And don't even get me started on the mountain layout. If New Zealand had a schoolmarm, the M1 at Coronet would be it. Those who get the reference, let me know down below. Now look, credit where it's due, as Coronet is probably the best mountain for pure on-piste in the Southern Lakes. It's got lots of fun rolling cruisers, but as a whole, it's lacking. The back bowls are quite limited, and while there is lots of mild off-piste, the challenge just isn't there. Coronet is famous for its night skiing, which I honestly find somewhat overrated. It just feels more commercial, which I'm not a huge fan of in all honesty. The beginner area has the longest lift lines in the whole of the South Island, which says a lot. Coronet's good for intermediates who like skiing on piste. Beyond that, it's just your run-of-the-mill small field that isn't particularly great in any one aspect. Now, I was quite torn, so bear in mind that these middle two are quite close, but in 3rd we have the Remarkables. The issue with the Remarkables is that it feels the most commercial out of all the fields. One of the greatest things about skiing in New Zealand is it still has a very different vibe than some of the major European and North American ski resorts. And, I don't know, the Remarkables just feels like the Breckenridge out of that region. And that's not me hating on Breckenridge, it's just that Breckenridge was the most visited American ski resort last season. The Remarkables seems to be the most well known. Of everyone in Queenstown who's going skiing, it feels like a solid 80% go to Remarks. It's got 3 brand new 6-packs but still gets 15+ minute queues. And the terrain is terrific. But it just feels more like a big ski resort of a more well-known destination than a sleepy small-time field in a sleeper skiing destination. They've got fantastic expert terrain and solid terrain parks. The intermediate and beginner terrain is solidly alright, but there's just no place to escape all the people, and that's why it's so low for me. Now, like I said, it's practically a toss-up between the Remarkables in 3rd and Treble Cone in 2nd. Treble Cone has a starkly different feel to it than the Remarkables. Lift queues are much rarer and shorter, and people seem much friendlier. The mountain spaces people out better, and arriving and parking isn't as chaotic. Treble Cone particularly specializes in advanced and expert off-piste. That's to say, they're not great at groomers, although they do have a couple of fun ones. But if you like bull skiing, natural half-pipes, or chutes, Treble Cone is calling your name. Everything there just feels simpler, and that's what gives it the slight edge over the Remarkables. Because in all honesty, the Remarkables is much more developed, has better terrain diversity, and has better infrastructure. The one upside to Treble Cone for lower level skiers is that for true beginners, Treble Cone's learners area is much less crowded than the learners areas at any of the other 3 on this list. As a whole, Treble Cone feels very old school. Not Porter's or OHAL level of old school, but it's just so much more laid back as a whole. Treble Cone also tends to get more snow than the Remarkables, but that varies storm to storm. Saddle Basin is so much fun, and if I had to pick one single lift to lap out of all the Southern Lakes ski fields, Saddle would probably be it. And now, in 1st place, I have Cardrona. The major weakness of Cardrona is one bad choke point and a lack of expert terrain. That choke point is White Star, and it's not getting any better. Additionally, Cardrona has one main area with some decent expert offerings, and only a few small areas beyond that. It's not like either of the previous 2, who each have dozens of expert routes. But those are the few weaknesses of Cardrona. The strengths of Cardrona go on and on. The beginner terrain isn't extensive, but the progression is pretty natural and flows along well. For intermediates, there are nice groomers throughout the resort, and some easier off-piste areas to enjoy, especially in the Willows. For advanced skiers, there's lots of good, semi-challenging off-piste areas. The lifts, aside from White Star, serve their terrain well enough. Willows is a fantastic area, and its vast expanses are relatively unique as far as these 4 ski fields go. And all this is not even to mention the Soho Basin expansion, which is going to increase expert terrain and spread people out a bit more, addressing both of those main weaknesses I addressed earlier. Don't get me wrong, Cardrona is far from perfect. However, as far as the Southern Lakes ski fields go, Cardrona is not only the best all-around destination, but also the best for several specific metrics as well. So there you have it. That's my preferred order for the Southern Lakes ski fields. But what do you guys think? Let me know down below. As always, please leave any questions down below as well. All my love, I'm out.